Good afternoon, crafters. I wanted to come on and show you how I made my butterflies. So these are a few of the ones I've got left. I used up a lot yesterday with my scraps and I love them. So I'm going to have a go at making some more and show you what I did. In fact, I'm going to do them slightly differently. Although now looking at these, I'm thinking maybe not. Because I actually quite like them. I didn't really like the colouring in, but no, they're not that bad. So what did I do? I used, and I'm going to experiment with something else as well. I used mixed media paper or quite heavy watercolour paper because I'm going to put water on here. Now when I made the original ones, I printed out this style because I have a die that will cut that butterfly out, hence it's got its antenna and everything. Okay, this time I've done more of those than anything else, but I have done a different style of butterfly which I will fussy cut, and when I fussy cut it I will probably not bother with the antenna because that's just too fussy. And there's a couple of other ones. I didn't know whether or not I was going to like those. Thought that was a bit too dark. That looked a bit fiddly. And I only got a tiny space, so I put two little ones in. So those are all done on mixed media paper. What I've also done is printed out. Now these are weird shaped butterfly, but this fits my butterfly punch, which I will show you. This one, a 2-inch punch. Whoops, I think it's a Hobbycraft one, I'm not sure, I think it is. So this, what I've done is I've cut out a butterfly, I have scanned it so I know what size it is, and I've got that image on my computer, and then I've found some images of butterflies and I have sort of chopped out bits of them. So there's two styles there, just because I don't like fussy cutting and anything to stop me having to do that. But this is only on thick 300 GSM white card because I had trouble getting my mixed media paper through. It does go through, but because I'd got this size, not a full size piece, which I could have done. Long story. Anyway, I thought, well, I'll just try it on white card anyway and see what happens. And I might do that the original way, which was just to use my watercolour pens. So that's what they are, watercolour brush pens, very cheap from Amazon. Oops, sorry. And I coloured them in, sprayed them with water, let them dry, splashed them with paint, cut them out. So that's what I might do with those. I will see, but I was going to have a little play with these, and the reason is when you're colouring, although that doesn't look, if you look at that one, it doesn't look too bad. When I was having a little practice, this is me using different colour pens in sort of pink and yellowy, and this is green. And then you spray it with water or use a brush pen. It's very hard to blend those out. They don't seem to want to shift beyond what is there. And I thought rather than do it that way, oh, not that side, I could get an effect like this, which I thought, oh, that's quite nice. And that was using a glass block, or I'm sure you could do it with Perspex, your stamping blocks or something like that. And I coloured onto, I've got a drinks coaster here. I coloured onto here, sprayed that with water and put that down, and I thought that gave a better sort of blended look. So that's what I'm going to do first, and I'll do, like, I don't want to mix all my colours because it will just turn brown, so I'll do one page of like bluey green, one page of pinky yellowy, and then we'll decide what we do with this one. I'm not 100% sure. We might just colour those ones in and see what happens. So, sorry if I keep banging the camera. Let's have a go. I'm going to need some water I've got a little spray bottle here. I am going to need my pens. Now I'm sure you could do it with watercolour paints if you wanted to. I was just trying to try and mix up a bit, see what I could do. You will need probably some kitchen towel because you'll see in a minute we're going to get a bit of a mess. Gloves if you don't like getting a red finger or any colour. Right, so I'm going to pull out some blues and greens and maybe a bit of yellow. Let's have that. Is that a blue? Let's have that. Oh, let's have them all. Let's have those. There's some teals as well. But so instead of colouring them in, I'm going to colour on my glass mat. I'll stick a piece of paper underneath and then you can just see what I'm doing. And I'm not literally not thinking about it. I'm just dropping some colour down. And obviously it doesn't go very well because you don't usually watercolour on glass, but that's fine. I don't want it to soak in. I need a non-porous background. I don't know if it's worth putting any yellow in there, but if there's a bit of a gap, just stick some in. Right, let's see what happens with this. Prepare to get messy. So I'm going to spray this. And then I'm going to turn it upside down and just smoosh it on here. Now, a point I should mention at this stage is that the ink I used on here was Versamark, and it has to be something that when it's dry does not react with water. Okay, so if you've got some extra colour that you don't want, just dab it away. And I think I'll just clean that one off and put some more colour on. And I'm sticking with the same sort of colours for this one, because if I started doing the pink down this end, if the colours run, sometimes there's a bit more water and it'll just turn brown, and that won't be very nice. Although I quite like brown butterflies because that's a bit more realistic in nature. But anyway, I'm just, again, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, just about move it over a little. I'm doing the same again, just sticking some colour down. I can't remember what colours I've used. Did I use that one? Yeah, I did. Let's use that one then. Although they look pretty similar, I think. That will do. Give it a spray. And I'll try it down here. Pop that on. And just squidge it over a little. Now, depending on how much water you've got on it, like I can see there was quite a lot. And it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to use that bit, but I'll just mop it up to save it going everywhere. I could do with a bit more colour on some of these, so I'm going to just let that dry for a minute and sort of move down this end. So I'm just going to keep going, doing more of the same. I suppose I could get my actual watercolours out and see if that does the same. I don't know. Perhaps I'll try that on the other. I'm slightly worried about the card because if I'm putting lots of water on it, it could warp or start pilling or just not looking great. Right, let's have a go at that. More water. And we'll just smooch that on. And because this is glass, it kind of, it's heavy, it kind of just pushes itself on there anyway. I'm going to lift it down that end. Whoops. take a little of that away. Anyway, you get the idea. That's what I'm doing for this one. I'll come back when I've finished it. Right, I'm back. I have done the blue one, bluey greeny one. So the colours are there, but quite subtle. I actually quite like the background effect, which I thought would be great for the back of a card or something. And I've done most of the pinky orangey one, but I thought I would just finish this little area here so that you could see what I was doing. But more of the same. I'm just picking colours that won't make brown, so things close together on the colour wheel, or I think you can go diagonally opposite as well. Let's just try a bit of that. I'm finding with this one that when the colours mix together, they tend to just make orange, and on the other one they made green, so it's predominantly green, and this one is predominantly orange. I would say when you lift this up, you'll see that we're getting a large amount of orange, but it's fine. You can leave that, or you can take it off. I think I'll just put a little bit more on there. And you can layer it. You can just use a colour, so that I'm just going to use red on this. Small amount of water, and stick it on there and smoosh it around. You can wait a little while for it to go into the water or the mixed media paper. You can move stuff around. You can take a bit of colour from here and put it over here, whatever you want. Right, that will probably do for that, so I'll let that one dry. Let me go back to this one and have a look, because we could put something on top. We could have a go at putting some purple. I don't know how this will work, but I'm going to have a go at putting some purples over the top. I think it's not quite dry. I'll have to dry it first. I mean, it's mainly dry. Let's just see what happens. Just do it over an area over here. Drop that on. There, not quite like that. Don't want too much because I don't want it to take my colours away. I'm just moving it around. Do something more over here. I think I might just pop a little bit more purple on. I quite like that, but it gives a good watercolour effect without actually doing very much. I'm only colouring on a glass mat, spraying it with water and smushing it down. In fact, that's where I wanted it. Oh, I've missed again. Let's move it around. Take some of that over here. Don't want them all to look identical anyway, so what to do. That's where I wanted it on there. Right, I think I will just mop up the excess. Yeah, that will do. Haven't finished with them yet anyway, so we've done those two. I have one sheet that I haven't done, but let's have a practice. Let's have a look at this. I think what I might do is cut this in half, and we will use one side, and I'll show you how I did my original ones to see whether or not you like that method. So for that I was just colouring in. So and you don't have to be too exact, because obviously you're either going to die cut, fussy cut, or punch out. So just literally not going to worry about this colouring, because otherwise we'll be here all day. I'm not sure about the butterfly's body because I know they don't fit very well, but I shall just go over those with a black pen. When I've done them. I'm going to do some greeny ones in a minute as well, but and you're probably looking at this thinking, oh my goodness, no wonder hers looks so rubbish doing that. And you're probably right. Okay, that will do for those. And we'll do some greeny, bluey effects over here. It's a nice colour. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I didn't think about that. I'm trying to show you that you don't have to be a master whiz at colouring. You can just do your own thing. It doesn't have to be particularly good or particularly special. And I'm not even being, you know, you can do yours really symmetrically if you wanted, but I'm not doing that. I don't really know what I'm doing. Who knows what I'm doing? I'm just not putting green and orange together, or red and green or anything like that. Right, let's see how we go with those. So, coloured those in with my watercolour pens. Now, this is not watercolour paper, nor is it mixed media. It's only thick card, so I would strongly recommend using mixed media paper. But let's, you know, if we don't try, we will never know. So give them a spray. And again, if you've printed these like I have, you might want to wait for the ink to dry. Let's just do that for now. I'm just going to use my heat tool on it. I'll be back. Right, now you can see it's sort of dry. Can you see all the bobbling on the paper? This is because it is just cardstock and not designed to take vast quantities of water. It's dry-ish, but it's still quite bobbly. It won't matter for the butterflies because they're small, they're busy, you're not going to see them. But I would say card is not the best medium to use. You'd be better off with some mixed media paper or some watercolour paper. I have to decide what to do with the other ones of those. I'm just going to show you something else. Now this again is mixed media paper, so it's thick, it's used to taking water. I won't use the watercolour pens this time. I will have a go at using my distress inks or my oxides. So let's have a look. I'm just going to pick, I better pick some colours that go well together, I think. And I'm not blending it, I'm going to dab some colour. And I'm going to try and forget there are butterflies on the page and just put some random blobs of colour all over it. And again, I'm picking things that I know will go together. There's no point putting green and red together unless you want to have brown butterflies, which you may want to do. Right, what have we got? We've got, that's a little bit close in colour. Let's have a look. Let's have a bit of seedless preserves, or shall I? No, I'm not going to do that. Or am I? No, I'm not. Okay, so I'm going to have a go at mixing my oxides and my just distress ink. Let's have yellow. This is mustard seed. think I'll do that because my oxides are nearly all sort of browns and greys and things. I perhaps should have thought of that before I started with this, but it won't matter. These things will work together well, she says. Right, so I'm just filling in. I'm trying not to think about it. I am putting blobs in. I'm not blending it. Let's have some spiced marmalade. So where there's a gap, I'm going to... And these will make brighter butterflies. That's the thing. Mine were sort of quite pale and pastel-y, which is really what I wanted. But sometimes you want something nice and bright. Right. What I will quickly do, I think, is just put some abandoned coral, which is almost the same colour as the barn door, but not quite. Anyway, I'm just going to stick a little on that where there's a gap. And we're definitely going to need some mop-up paper, I think, for this. Right, that will do. Now I'm hopefully not going to spray too much water. I'm going to spray at a distance as well so that we don't get a massive puddle. Now, I could, you can put more water on if you want to sort of move the colour around a bit. I quite like how that looks. Also, you can see where the oxides and things have, if you're making a background, obviously you could just keep going till you're done, but let's get rid of some of that. I like those. Right, I'm going to dry that. Let me come back. Right, that's almost dry, and you can see that's much more vibrant. Of course you could blend them if you wanted to have a blended page, but I quite like the effect that you get. Bits of dripping and the speckles where the water have gone on. Anyway, there's some bright ones. I think I'm just going to try one more method with these because why not? We are here. You could use gelatos or those sort of things, but I'm going to try my woodies and see what they're like. So I have got a strange colour palette here, so I'm just, right, don't think about this, let's do half of it in blue. So it's so hard not to colour them in, to forget, you know, that they're there, and I don't want to think about, I don't want them to be coloured in. I just want to and what colours have I got? All right, I just want, you know, there to be some colour. I don't want the butterflies to be coloured in as such. I don't want them all to look pristine. So I'm just going to, as I said, I don't have a huge amount of different colours, so I don't know what gold will look like, but right, this could be a complete fail, this bit. What we need is a baby wipe, and I've got one here. I'm just going to put a little bit more water on it rather than use a new one. Right, let's see what happens with this. Right, the red doesn't really want to blend out very well. The gelatos would work, or the similar, I can't think what they're called. But anything water soluble should work. Right, let's have a go. at least doing it this way, I'm not putting quite so much water directly on the page, and then we're not getting that bubble effect that we had on the other. Might have to get me some more water. Oops, sprayed myself, not. That one looks a bit scribbly, but I don't think it will matter. Okay, so there, you know, that's another way of colouring in your butterflies. And again, I mean, you could do it with anything. I'm just showing you a few things that I've been playing with. Let's pop those away. Right. So the next thing we need to do, obviously they need to dry a bit, and so do those. But we need to put a few splatters on. So you need to choose, now I'm going to probably choose acrylic paint, but you could use distress inks again and splat on with those. Oh, we could try that, couldn't we? Shall I do that while they're here? Let's, on this one, let's go for something like red or orange or something like that. Let's take that out. Right, I have to be careful not to get myself. Right, it's a bit watery. That's the only thing with acrylic paint, obviously it's less watery. Right, let's put that on the side to dry. There's some on here, but I don't want them on there. So they're working, but it's because they're water based as well, they're blending in a bit with that. But it does work. I think I would prefer to get some acrylic paint, so bear with me, I'll be back in a sec. Right, let's have a little go. There's some blue there. Oh, desperately in need of more paints. Right, not sure if anything is going to come out of this one. Oops, hang on. Come on, you know you want to. Do you want to come out? I'll tell you what, we'll just leave that standing there for a minute if it will stand. No, it doesn't want to. Maybe there is none in there. Have I just got blue paint on there? No, that was from last time. Right. There does seem to be something in. Ugh. Alright. I see. It's a bit clogged up, that's all. That will do us. Let's get rid of some of those bits, because that's going to annoy me. Right, there we go. Let's try with some purple. I don't want too much purple, because we have. And again, I'm trying not to think about it too much and think about the butterflies. Just that will do on that one. Come back to that. I'm getting it everywhere but the butterflies. Right, that will do for there. Yes, my craft room is going to need a bit of a clean, isn't it? some more water on that. Put that to one side. That's a rather large blob there. I'll have to get rid of that, I think. And I quite like it when you get the sort of lines of paint as well. Sometimes, whoops, hoping that's not getting my camera. Anyway, you get the idea. Just blobbing some paint on. And I will continue doing that. Let's get rid of you. And I'll be back when I've covered everywhere with paint. Right, so I have, I don't know if you can see all of these, there's some more up there as well, but I have splattered them all with different colours of paint, and I like this white, gold, blue, purple, yellow, I think that's it. And I'm going to let them dry. I'll probably let them dry overnight now because I need to go and make my grocery order and things like that, so I will go away and come back tomorrow with this, but I will hopefully have cut them out, fussy cutting, punching, and using my die cutting machine as well. And then when I come back I'll show you what they look like and what I'm going to do to them next. Okay, see you later. Morning folks, it's the next day. I have die cut these butterflies here. These are the ones that were done with the watercolour pens and smushed on with a glass coaster. So those are die cut. Same technique for these ones but different colours, and again these are die cut. And then these ones were the ones that I used the distress inks and oxides on, and again these ones were the ones that you could die cut, so those have all been die cut. Then we've got ones which I fussy cut, which are here, and these again, these are the ones which with the watercolour pens in pinks and in blues and greens and purples. So those were fussy cut, as were these. These are the distress inks again. That's a little baby one there. And then these, I'm not sure about that one. Like I said before, it was hard to cut. So anyway, there's those. And then these are the ones that I have punched using my Hobbycraft butterfly punch. So let's put some down so we just pick up a few. But they're not too bad, I don't think. But let us just grab a Sharpie. So I'll do one of each so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to go round the edge as best I can. So and this is entirely up to you whether or not you do this bit. I'm going to make the antenna black as well. And I'm just literally running the pen around the edge of the wings. A bit too much there, but you get the idea. I think that looks just slightly better than that one there. And if you wanted to, you could also colour in the body, which I don't tend to do because I like the bodies, but you could colour the body in as well. And that's it really. When I'm done, I will probably put a bit of distress ink or something on the back, just in case when I put them on a project and I lift the wings, you can see white underneath. I might not, I don't, it just depends. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I suppose thinking about it, I could have done that before I cut them out. That way, you know, it would be less fiddly. Anyway, that's all I'm going to do, I think. Let's have a go at one of these and see what this one's like. I just think put a little bit of black on the outside just neatens up the edges and hides some of the white from the edges of when you've been fussy cutting. I think I'll just do that as well. There you go. Shall I do his body? He's got quite a skinny body. There we are. But I think it just makes, I don't know, just up to you what you prefer. I think the black just helps it a little bit. Right, so those are my butterflies. Thought I'd share those with you. I'm just going to finish off this lot and then that will be in my stash ready to use on other projects. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up and share my video if you wish. Have a lovely day and I'll be back again soon. Bye for now.